Okay, let's record on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And guess who I got with me tonight? I got Trina and I got Steve, and we're going to talk about ESP. Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah. How are you, Robert?
I am fine. I'm fine. Another day in the Milky Way, you know?
And how are you, Steve, after bowling?
Still breathing and farting, can't complain.
Right on.
How are you?
Love peace and chicken grease. I love when you say that.
Yes, ma'am.
So hello to everybody out there that if you can figure it out, we're not live, but we are here anyway to be with you on Saturday night. And we're going to have a good discussion, but leave your comments. I'll go back through the chat and see them anyway. And it'll all be good. But I want to say hi. Who do we all know out there? It's going to be watching.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Mary Wins. I know she'll be there. And who else is on there?
We got David Berry. We got Shannon Kling.
Yep.
We got Marsha Price. We got Truth in Me. We got Julianne Payne.
Yeah.
We got Chloe.
Crystal MacArthur.
Crystal MacArthur.
Deborah Sloan.
Deborah Trudeau.
Yeah. And who else is there?
Michelle Cannon-Free.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Doth, Miles.
Yeah. Darth
will be
Al.
there. Yeah. Al will be there. Hey, Al.
Yeah.
He was in Tracy, California today, and he should be back coming through about where he'd be in like Arkansas or Tennessee somewhere now by now.
Post my card yet with my picture on it?
I don't know. I think he did. Did he get
your
your
card?
card?
Looks like this.
I haven't seen. He hasn't sent me the picture of your with the yet, or maybe he has. I'll look it up. Just give me a second. But anyway, yeah, they're
card.
Yeah, let's see where.
Yeah, those cards are turning out really nice. Really nice.
Yes.
Teresa.
Something neat to have.
Paul from Newcastle.
Oh yeah, Paul.
Mr. Menza.
Mr. Menza, yeah.
Jack maybe. Jill maybe.
Yeah, Jill. Mary Wins.
Yeah. Mary Wins.
Yeah.
Yvonne Gordon maybe.
Pure Love Ascension.
Pure Love Ascension.
Yeah.
Lori Duran.
I'll think of some more.
There's so many people there's so much of our wonderful soul tribe.
Yeah. Still digging here. Where is
So Robert was talking about having a card pulled tonight. You want me to read the card I pulled, Robert?
Yes. Please read the card while I tried to find your picture.
Absolutely. And it was kind of crazy because we're talking about ESP and how we're all feeling like we're like, are we really totally like connected? And you know, everybody right now is like picking up on some type of a warning signal, like time is getting short, you know, and people are getting it all different ways, but we're all feeling this and all picking up on like there's something happening, something is close, something we just know something's going on. And it's so funny because there feels like there's a lot of people that are like going, what's happening right now? And that was funny. I thought this card was appropriate. I pulled Vigilance. So Vigilance says, Vigilance requires that you attend to the needs of this moment. Bring all of your awareness to the present moment and ask what is genuinely here right now, not what was here yesterday, and not what will happen tomorrow, but what is here, hey you two, right now.
Right now.
They're playing. Yeah, sometimes they get very loud and it sounds like they want to kill each other, but most of the time it's totally fine. So it means to be present in the moment now. Don't let yesterday or tomorrow mess with you. We've got to be vigilant and stay present in the now moment, because this is what we create with in the now moment. Let yourself grow still, silent. Feel what is in here right now and open into it. The simple opening will effortlessly guide you to the actions that are appropriate to this moment and for what it needs. Your actions will be the natural response born from truth. Be true to truth. Let your heart guide you. Right action always springs from the vigilance of being true to the moment.
I
thought
love
was
that.
kind of
I love
appropriate.
vigilance is key. So yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so I thought that was a cool card for what was going on in the topic and kind of the energy. Seems
Yep.
like we're all getting our warning bells are going off.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've been seeing that everywhere. I mean, I was saying earlier that I'd seen on Dave Hodges, the Common Sense Show. If anybody's watching that show, is that he was talking about how people are having this feeling of distress or that something's about to happen, and then he was talking about how people have the ability that you ever feel somebody's watching you and you don't know it. You're like, somebody's watching me, and they are. And but people have that ability, even though you don't have eyes in the back of your head. But as the veil, like I says, as the veil of whatever's happening in the world gets thinner and thinner and thinner, can we see better and better and better? Even if we don't know we have that ability, it's there with everybody. It's just getting, because it's getting thinner, the ones who don't believe it's there is actually coming through. It's bleeding through. That's a good description. It's bleeding through the future. The future is, because as they say, the future, the past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. And if
It's weird that you say that, because I was just reading just now. I flipped this book open, which is Ascension Handbook by our friend Phil, and it pretty much sums it up in one paragraph. Pretty much what ESP is, I think it is. Well, I've come to learn what it is and what he says it is, but he doesn't say that in this paragraph. I just put it together, and it goes hand in hand with what you just said. How yesterday, today, and tomorrow is all at one time. And these quotes tell us that inside and outside the universe is the same unified infinite nature. We could categorize as zero dimension in modern terms. Zero and infinity are the limitless limits of creation that become one in unity again at their opposite extremes. They are the same state or condition on either side of the difference between them, the cosmos. So what he's saying is the in is the out, the singularity is the extent, and time is the same as timelessness, just on the opposite ends of the bookshelf. And from that we can glean that everything is interconnected in one unity, and at the beginning and the end, because we are all of the same energy, right? I mean, we all come from the center.
Yeah.
We all come from the center of everything, So yeah. The reciprocating precessional hyperboloid, which is the magnetic field, is the same thing as the galactic state that we are birthed from. So I think that was fitting, what you just said.
Yeah, I was seeing alpha and omega too when you were saying that, the beginning and the end. I was seeing, different ways.
Right.
but
It's all inclusive. It's all inside itself.
But as these, so in my mind, I'm putting together something like, so time is like a bunch of spikes. I mean, different events happen that, the collective mind spikes at, right? Because of a traumatic thing. So our energy goes up or it goes down, like fear, so if you can get like 9/11 happened, everybody's mind was focused, everybody was in fear all at the same time. Now that would spike in history, as you're going down through the timeline. You got World War I, World War II, 9/11. I'm just giving examples. The Desert Storm. And then now all of a sudden we get to this point. And then there's, and everybody seems like they know that there's a spike coming.
Well,
But-
there's always a spike, isn't there?
Well, yeah. But I mean, just before the spike or close to the spike, we have that ESP. I mean, now Wayne has been doing it on his show where, you know, he has the card and he flips it up and he says, oh, we're going to have, you know, it's a red cross or it's a yellow triangle or whatever. And if you concentrate hard enough, I've done it myself. If I really focus on it the night before and tell myself, I know what it is, I know what it's going to be, the next day I can predict what it's going to be. But if I just guess, I don't have a clue because I'm guessing. But if I, you know, and so how am I doing that?
Viewers do, you mean?
The what?
Like people remote view.
Yes, like remote viewing, exactly. And is ESP similar to that, or is that not?
I think extrasensory perception, which is ESP, I think you get it in all of your senses, but those are the more subtle messages. So, you know, like sometimes you smell smells, but they're from spirit. They're not in the real world, but you're smelling them anyways. You know, same thing is like we, like sometimes when I used to be bartending, the guys used to roll up bar naps and they would throw them at me and I would turn around and catch them. And they were like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. You know, but you have this extra sensory thing that's connected to your autonomic nervous.
Because you're waitress ninja.
No, I just think it's so, yeah. I don't know why I've always been able to, I sense it coming.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Sometimes it hit me, but very rarely.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is that's one of those things that you can, you know, predict, you know, right in your area. I
think too the part of the ESP is like we're running on some type of a delay system.
Yeah.
So like we're always in the subconscious's mind's future, because there's like this little bit of a delay. Like sometimes when you sense something really bad's going to happen, you know right before it happens. Somehow there's that higher intelligence system that's giving you that warning right before it happens.
Isn't that when they say like, oh, your guardian angel was watching over you and, you know, you jumped out of the way of the car just before it came in, and then they go, why did you jump? Well, I don't know.
I just knew to jump. Right.
Yeah.
I just heard jump now, and you just jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So I think our ESP is part of that.
Have any of you guys ever had instances in your life where it saved your life, like a voice or a feeling and something told you to be aware of what's going on? And I've 3 instances in my life where that's happened.
How many times?
3. I would have died each time.
Me too.
I had one.
I was underneath a dashboard of a car with the garage sealed with the car running for over an hour, and it was running and it was sealed up, and something in my head said, get out of here. What are you doing? And I didn't even question it. And I ended up fainting at the door with my head outside the door, and I laid there for 2 hours not being able to move.
Wow, Steve.
In the snow.
Wow.
And then another time, car accident when I was like 15 years old. No, 13. I went on 12. 12. I went on a field trip with school to Duluth. Got picked up by my mom. We were going camping, and on the way to camping on a 2-lane highway, there was a head-on collision, and I knew all day that was coming. And it was weird. And I seen the car coming, and I pulled a couple guys down, but one guy got his face smashed. It was pretty horrible. And then another time I fell out of a boat, and I was ready to give up, and something in my head said, don't give up, he's coming back. And it was like 36-degree water, and it was right after the ice was off the lake, and we were it was fishing opener in Minnesota. And it was pretty, all of a sudden, poof, dude comes right around the corner, and I fell out of the boat driving it. I was driving it.
Oh, jeez.
The motor flew out of my hand, and a wave of water took me out.
Wow.
And I was I was swimming in the middle of lake in 36-degree temperature water. It took my breath away. I felt like knives.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just the shock of that water usually does people in, Steve.
Yes, in my head, I thought I was dead. And
Wow.
something said, no, wait a minute, he's coming back. And sure enough, Tom, God rest his soul, who's now dead, he saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
And that voice, that thing, we're all connected to it. And that's how people can do remote viewing. Edward, what was it, Ed Gacy, or what was his name?
Edgar Casey.
Yeah, him. Dr. Doom, or whatever his name is, Dr. Death. What was his name? He was the one that did the remote viewing. Max or John with remote, or Max Vision remote view this. I think that's his channel.
Yeah.
I want to plug him because he's always here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Max Vision's good. I wish I could catch more of his shows. I was there for a while, I did, and then he was, sometimes he's early, sometimes he's late, and sometimes he's after the show, and then I got to go to bed, or I got to go to work. So
yeah, he does them late time.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's a little more than fun. It's pretty wild actually. But the CIA even does it. The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Like I said, I enjoy Max Vision's show. It's just, I mean, it's fun to just, I got my whiteboard and I start drawing things, and it's interactive. It really is. It's really interactive.
That's awesome.
We should do a show like that.
Yeah, I've never tried that in groups. I've done it a few times, but it wasn't on purpose. It just happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've always been able to kind of just pick a target and go. I don't know. That's how I hooked up with Ultraviolet, because we decided to go to the purple planet, and I was like, okay, and boom, it was just like snap, easy. Yeah. Nice. It's just trusting your imagination, I think, because your imagination is what takes you there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You
got to trust it and just go with it. Yeah.
I was listening to, I forget who it was today, and they were saying something about that, and you just got to have faith and believe in yourself when you imagine these things in your head, and you got to have that faith and believe, that it's actually happening. And then it even though it's not physically happening, it's mentally happening, something like that. Thought creates matter. So thought forms do affect matter. It's all thought. Think it. If you're thinking it on one level, you are doing it, because your mind and your it doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. There's literally like a not even a 2% variance between reality and imagination. That's why, like, us talking on the screen and stuff, it's a virtual reality. We're really not in front of each other having conversations, but it appears that way. It's so amazing the way that these things are operating in our reality. But
it's like Alaska, see the aurora borealis behind me. Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah, virtually.
Virtually, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. A lot of it is imagination, and I think a lot of people, by watching TV, they lose that imagination. I think I read that somewhere, where today people are losing their imagination because they just turn on the TV and all their imagination is actually pumped into their head, instead of us trying to imagine, like, some movie or something. We'll just use, everybody loves Stargate. So, imagine Stargate, and it, it's piped into our head, and now we don't have to imagine it. We just, I remember that part of the show.
I think that's why it's really important sometimes to read books. Yeah. Because when you read a book, you don't have the screen, you only have the words. You have to create the images within your own mind. And that is a way to start to reconnect and start to develop your imagination skills. Because as soon as you read a book, you start to do it.
Well, that and like they were old radio shows. You know, the kids used to sit around the radio and listen to the radio shows, and you got the Lone Ranger there, and you hear the hooves, you know, and then you're imagining the horse, and then you're saying, and then hey, hi, oh Silver, and then you're thinking about what he's doing, and then he crawled, and then the narrator describes every step. He walked up the steps really carefully, and as he got to the top, the door creaked open slowly. As he peered around the corner, what did he see? And it's like, and then your mind, you're thinking, I listen to a lot of audio stuff like that while I'm driving around every day. And and that's the stuff, you're listening to this, and you got this imagination going on up top.
Absolutely. And like I said, with the videos, we don't need to access any of that. None of it.
Yeah. No.
It's all being given. So yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if the dog would respond. Sorry. I was just curious.
No.
No, Cody and Zodi, he's in love with her. He's really in love with her. Yeah, and he's driving her crazy right now.
Oh, that's her growling at him?
Yeah. She's like, come on, dude. He's like, come on, play with me. Yeah, they're funny. Yeah, they're super cute.
Sweet. Yeah,
yes, they are. Well, at least they got company.
Both huskies?
Yeah. Cody Blue. She's gonna get mad. She's complaining. She's like, oh.
They do have a personality, those.
Oh, they do, and I so love them.
Right.
Cody Blue.
Break down the word imagination once.
Imagination.
Absolutely.
Right.
And magi means magician.
And you know what? Imagination is rooted in the word aim, which is to copy.
Yeah, image, because you're getting the I image. You're getting the image of Ion, of God. The image that imagination are the images sent from God into you.
Yeah, and imagination is faculty of the mind which forms and manipulates images. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Those symbols are talking to us louder than words.
Oh,
so
say that. Yeah,
the images are potent. They're foundational. They're so strong. So those
hieroglyphics, right? Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like with the brain. Now, what was it? The Alien Interview. Remember, Wayne read that book, okay? Yeah. And the alien was talking with the lady with images. And I remember other books that I've read or listened to, different stuff, where every time they met up with something that was a spirit thing or an alien or something, it seems like they talked in their head within images. Image communication, put it that way. It wasn't spoken words.
When I was little, I used to communicate with the Lord like that. He would send me pictures, and I would just be able to understand through the pictures. But I could use words too. But especially when I was young, he'd show me a lot of pictures. Like when I was going to jump off the roof, he showed me a cartoon of the Wile the coyote falling off a cliff and going splat. He literally would show me images. Mm-hmm.
So while we're talking about images, like, okay, you got the Egyptian hieroglyphs, with the little images as words, right? And could that be why they drew them like that? Because of I'm just shooting this out there. I don't know anything about Egyptian hieroglyphs,
I think you're absolutely right. Chinese does it too. Their language is all made from pictures.
Yeah. So they're
hieroglyphics can only be understood in the mindset of the writers, meaning that you had to be around in that or know the context of that time in order to interpret them the correct way. That's not to say that they weren't adopted later to represent other things, but that's how our English language has gotten so convoluted and so confusing to other people. You know, even to us, we're confused.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about that, the word itself is, you know, is in Genesis, and the word is God, and God is the word, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that there's always a free will choice to most words, whether you're going to accept the definition of the negative or the definition of the positive of that word. You know, because it's crazy. And Janus words are a good example, where a Janus word can mean the exact opposite but sound the same, or in the same spelling and everything, but they're in the context they're used, it just means exact opposite, you know.
Two-faced God.
Yes, and that's the true free will we have, is to whether or not to adhere to doom and gloom. The world's going to end, and in my opinion, in the whole we know something's coming thing, sure, we always do. We're going to die. I mean, get over it. That's
everybody's got a time. It's just when.
Yeah.
But everybody's got an appointment.
That's that inevitable doom we feel, though, is that we're going to die.
Yeah.
I think when we're born into flesh, we're born into the fear of death, because we know our subconscious mind and the ego, somehow the ego part of us understands that it dies.
It keeps us alive long enough so we can figure out how to live forever.
Oh,
totally.
okay.
Who would want to live forever?
No, I mean, in a cosmic sense.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say here. Oh gosh, no. Whoa.
No, I come back to help people. I think that's what most of us on the internet that are doing this have the choice, you know, and that's, you know, I'm not saying I'm one of them. I'm just, you know, I'm lucky enough to know what I know, and I hope that knowledge helps other people. And I think that's pretty much what it's all about, is just, you know.
You know, the more I'm looking at it, Steve, it seems like that we've never been prepared to die. So none of us, we really don't have a whole lot of information. Not many people have done, you know, near death experience research and gone down all of these rabbit holes of knowledge that help you kind of navigate the belief systems that we've been brought into. And now we're trying to find our own truth and find our own internal power, because when we're looking at a lot of this stuff, it's all about where do you vibrate, and what is in your consciousness. And like you said, are you choosing the light side, or are you choosing the dark side? Because you have free will. You can go whichever path you want to.
Both ways too. I'm testing.
Yeah. Totally.
You know, before we get off of the subject about, you know, we were talking about dying and stuff. I had epiphany with this dying thing. And Steve, you've read the Bible pretty good, and you always refer to some Bible verses here and there. But in the beginning there, God had said to Adam, don't eat from the tree, you know, for surely, you know, or because you'll die. Then he tells, you know, the serpent says something, and Eve says, oh, God said, don't eat from the tree or we will die, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know the whole story. Okay. And they were afraid to eat from the tree because they would die. Now, if they were the first two people, they wouldn't know what death is. They wouldn't have known anybody that died or anything that died. They wouldn't have a concept of death, would they not?
True.
So why would they be afraid of dying if you've never seen anybody or anything die?
The only thing that I take from that, I used to exactly verbatim think that's exactly what the story meant that you just said. Yeah. The tree of good and evil is the tree of the cosmic life and death, the tree of birth into physical existence and dying from a physical existence. Now, the tree of life is the tree of everything, you know, of the spiritual, of the whole. And you know, that's why where the verse goes on and says, don't let them eat of the tree of life, otherwise they be like me.
Yeah.
You know, that is still reinforcing the concept of, you know, the cycle. We can break through the cycles And also Adam and Eve is a story of Eve is the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
Adam is the light.
Yeah.
In
But
the cosmos.
But I mean, I know the whole Adam and Eve thing is like a metaphor for these things like you're talking about. But so many people take it literally. But if you really start to take it literally, then you're like, well, this story makes no sense.
Right, talking serpents, and yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it deeper than what it's telling us at face value, because it's our ego that's going to grab onto what's familiar to make sense of it in a physical sense, in a physical world, in a literal term, because that's all we know.
Mm-hmm.
But if it invokes thought in you and you really, really concentrate on things, this is how things, like me and I had the epiphany of a black hole is everything, or it's something way more important than what physicists or whatever scientists say. And maybe it's not even really a black hole as we know the definition of a black hole. But a black hole is a recycler, and it is the center of our galaxy, and it emits hydrogen in enormous amounts to where it creates matter. And what are we? We are water, hydrogen, H2O. And so you mix us with a little oxygen, boom, you got us some fresh water, but that whole thing, that's the maritime law fits into the whole, I'm just babbling on because I forgot where I was and whatever. I'm trying to sound smart, but the whole Adam and Eve thing is a story, just like any other story in the Bible. There can be a physical aspect to it, but you can't let that dictate what the next verse means to you. And if you really ponder on things, it comes to you. Like the black hole I was just talking about. Now I remember what I was talking about. That the Anu. That's why I adopted the Anu as my avatar, is because the Anu is Skyfather, and Anunnaki, they were lowered. Their kingship was lowered from heaven to earth. And I went, what the heck is this? Well, so they're not aliens, they're us, and we can become Anunnaki, a Skyfather on Earth. And that's what our whole because
a lot of people that think they're star seeds
and die, and that's it. There's more to life than our death.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people that think that they're star seeds, like they think they've come from another place.
Yes.
I think that might be a lot of that I think many of us already are sky gods because we came from different places, and they're just some are aware of it and some aren't.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we, in some respect, we probably did, because of the fact that they said that for the longest time, I read this somewhere, humanity stayed about 2 billion people on Earth. Now, where they get these figures, I don't know, but they said the way the world worked, there was about 2 billion people on the planet at all times. Now, you couldn't really get too much above that because they couldn't feed them, or you went down a ways and then they just repopulate. So it kind of stayed in that ball. But then all of a sudden they invented, cars, food, better food, farming practices, and then just like that, the population went up. Well, that means more spirit, souls, whatever, to come to this place, all in a hurried amount of time. You see, so
the population has exploded to 3 times, 4 times what it was, or the longest. Yeah. It was Akhenaten's fault, in my opinion. No, I'm just kidding. It's all Akhenaten's fault. Think about that. 18 years old.
Yeah. So you went from 2 billion to like 7 billion in like 100 years. That's that's.
Well, actually, it has only been 100 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, about 100 years.
1918 was the last big die-off, 50 million.
Yeah.
And then after that, boom, you're right.
Yeah, it was about close to about 100 years. And it's just spiked. And, it keeps going up, 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 up. And at some point, there's usually
kind of shelved off, I think.
Yeah. But if whatever's coming up, is going to bring us back down, Is that, or did all these people come here from other places to experience stuff now? Why they could? Because they know they might not get another chance.
Right. Or they came here to help.
Well, yeah, one or the other. But I mean, if you said, hey, there's an opportunity to go on the cruise ship, they just opened up a new wing, but in X amount of time, they're going to close it back down. And otherwise you got to wait in line for another 6 months. Well, I'd be in line right away saying, oh, they opened up that new wing, I'm going on the cruise ship, right?
You guys agree this is the Matrix, right?
Yes, I do believe.
You know what Matrix is?
Yeah, it's
The definition of Matrix.
I'm not sure. Go ahead, explain. What?
Womb.
Womb?
Womb.
Oh.
Place of justice.
Web of life, womb, yeah.
Huh.
Yes. A
Yep.
place where your soul develops.
I was thinking more of a web, but yeah, I agree. Womb, good.
Yeah, there's that free will choice, whether or not think the Matrix is a red pill, blue pill thing. And in essence, it is, because we have that choice to take either pill.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know lots of people that are asleep, and people that you try to wake up, they literally tell you, I just want to go back to sleep, kind of, in not so many words.
I think it's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can, when I look at Matrix, I see it micro and macro. So when I see the micro part of it, I see the womb, like of a mom giving birth. And then when I look at it on the macro level, I see it as like the entire web that holds the entire cosmos within it through a electrical and magnetic membrane, actually, that holds everything inside of it.
Right. Mm-hmm. What if we are all just little synapses in a big brain? We're just.
I think that all the time, and that would make sense how we would actually be God, because if we were part of that, of firing in the brain, having an individual part or an individual location within that brain, that would give you the ability to have a separation within the wholeness of it. Yeah, I've thought about that a little bit.
Disorder, correct.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yes.
I also thought too, what if we're a cone in a big, humongous eyeball? And that would totally make sense with the flat earth, round earth thing, because the eyeball is round, but when you're on, the iris would be the cosmos. So the colored iris would be the flat plane within the eyeball, and the tree of life is the iris and the eyeball, and then the roots go down through the eye, the root nerve that goes into the brain of God.
Well, that's why everything on Earth has like rivers and fjords, and like the Delta, Nile Delta. Those are all the same as the lungs. The capillaries in our lungs, the same as our the nerves in our bodies. All of that stuff. It's just crazy how everything repeats and repeats and repeats. And, we can throw a concept after concept, and, unless you really put your mind to it, you're not going to get, and even if you do get it, you probably get it a different way, because you're that separate but the same energy.
Exactly. And I was going to say, maybe that's exactly the way it should be, because maybe our origins come from different places. Maybe I come from an eye, but you come from the brain. Maybe another person is part of the lung, because I think we're all one body. We're all one body. Spirit body.
So we're all part of the one. The one that is ineffable, undescribable, is undefined. Yeah. So that one goes into things that are definable. Yes. And have a chance to define themselves as that whole again, or go back to that whole. And wow, I just had an epiphany where that go back to that whole. We're going to the sea. People say, don't go into the light or stay away from the singularity. It's a bad thing. The black hole is a bad thing. 13 is a bad thing. All of these. But I mean, that's what we were taught, or Friday the 13th. Bad.
Yeah. Negative. Yeah, but I broke those programs. It was so funny. My mom's birthday's on the 13th, so that helped me a whole bunch.
Right.
I'm like, that's not a bad number. That's my mom's birthday.
But yeah, I'll get back to the at one-ment. Atonement is at one mentally. So yeah.
That's what, and I think this whole knowing that you're God thing, you know, it's like such a not a blasphemy thing. It's not an ego thing. It's
Can
like
be
when,
though.
when you can really start to understand, what if you really are God?
We are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But a lot of people, they can't process that, Steve.
No, they let that run in their
you know.
mind. It turns them into a egomaniacs or.
Yeah, and man, that's right.
That's where the old maxim comes in, where the all is in the all, but all are not all.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they drop the
God. All is in the all, but not all are in the all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's because it's such a profound thing, because okay, if you think about it, we were created in the image of. So every single one of us is an image of God.
Yes. Love, true state is love.
Yeah. Profound. I mean, to think about that, like, you know, the song, What If God Was One of Us? It has like a whole new meaning, you know, when you start to contemplate these deep concepts. It's like, wow, that's totally right.
Best damn thing since sliced God.
Yeah, and you can't, when you really understand, okay, if you really, really do grasp the concept that you're God, then you grasp the concept that everybody else is too.
Right. We can become little G's.
Kinder and more conscious and more aware of how you treat.
The only way out is in, and the only thing you find in there is we all are the same. We all want to be loved, and we all want to survive. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
How can you argue with that? Whether or not you're a Somalian or from Mogadishu, or you're a African from South Africa, or you're a European.
Those are all God's colors. Those are all his different hues of his light.
All the white people were from Mars, and all the colored people are from here, and you know that's what the disgruntledness is from, and because we effed up our planet already, and you know, and all the people from dirt.
I think you might be right, Steve, because you know why? The Lord always told me that this earth was a living library, and this is where all the different races came together to see if they could get along. He literally told me this more than once. You might be onto something with this.
Yeah, to communicate.
That makes sense. I never thought about that, but you might be right. Holy crap.
I've had that thought for some time.
Because the Vulcans are different than the Andromedans and the Pleiadians, but then there's such diversity within those different groups too. That's a big thing. That makes it so much bigger. But I think you're right. I think there's something to that.
We're like,
but I think that, you know how kind of we have a lot of nationalities in us, like now a lot of people have a lot of different nationalities.
We're all mixed up. It's some poker.
I think we're mixed up now with all the alien races too.
Right. Yeah. If God's all one energy, we're all one energy, we're all one thing. So we're all the same in the end.
Yeah, well, the different genes to me are like different books of templates, different potential opportunities of manifestation in physical form.
It goes back to, if all were unicorns and rainbows, what would be the fucking point?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Somebody would argue over which color part of the rainbow you are and which unicorn had the longest horn and the best tail, you know?
And then they'd go start looting Target over it. And the day we live in today. And that's you know, out of chaos will come order, and it's nature's way.
Yeah.
It's going now, it's nature's way to correct things, and the pendulum's going to swing. You know, which side of that pendulum you're going to be hanging on to? You're going to be hanging on to I'm going to help others out, or I'm going to buy a gun and buy all the ammo I can and fend for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I sold my guns. So whatever comes, it comes.
Yeah.
You know, I protect what I got to protect, but you know, I'm not going to drive by a family on the road and not help them if they need help. You know,
absolutely.
I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think this is where it's going to come down to, and this is going to be the ultimate testing. And it's like, what side of the brain do you serve? Because you're going to be tested, because these are times of change.
They're already testing.
They totally are.
to worry about, you know, our own survival, or, you know, because all I see that is popular on YouTube right now is propagation of, you know, the sunspot minimum, or, you know, there's going to be a new ice age, or you know, the fires are burning the world, or, you know, the clouds are covering the sun everywhere around the world. You know, yeah, all of this stuff may be true, but it may change tomorrow. You know, Rocket Man was supposed to kill us 3 years ago, if anybody remembers that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, remember Rocket Man, guys?
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, just live in the now and love in the now.
So I mean, this is a good point that you brought up, and this brings it all kind of back and around, is the fact that, okay, you none of us, we all feel that there's something coming, right? Now, from everybody's perspective, they believe that, you know, the poles are going to flip, the Rocket Man's going to shoot his stuff off, you know, all those things that you said. You know, this guy says, well, I think that's what's gonna, I think there's a fairy tale or a something that goes like that, and each one of them says, well, oh no, it's the blind man. Remember the blind man and the 3 blind men, and they're feeling up the elephant, and the one goes, yeah, oh, I think it's a octopus, and the other one's pulling on the tail. I remember the little cartoon, and he's pulling on the tail. He says, look, here's a swing here, you know, and the other one goes, ooh, it's hard like a rock, you know, and he's like, this is, you know, it's the horn, or, you know, the tusk. He says, and the other one's like, it's a tree, you know, he's holding on to the leg, you know, yeah. But I think that's what everybody's doing right now. They know that but what's the commonality of it? Every one of those guys knows that it's something big. They all know that it's all attached. It's all the same item. And then, and they, you know, they're all telling bits and pieces of it. But the problem is nobody knows exactly what it is because they're blind.
Right.
Even if they did know what it was, I mean, yeah. So
yeah. All they can do is give information based upon their perception.
Yes.
So that truth is truth to that person in that area of the body. And even though they're all on the same body, they're on different parts of the body. So they're experiencing different perceptions. But none of them are wrong. They're all right. Yeah. And I think that's like the perfect explanation of the flat earth, round earth thing. It's like everybody's right. You're going to see that. Everybody's right.
I'm right. We live under a fake fridge light somewhere in a pickle jar.
I think so too. Yep. I think we live under some kind of
yellow submarine. You know, that's where that we all live in a yellow submarine song came from.
Yeah.
I think it's like an eyeball. I swear. I really do. When you look at the Hindus, and you look at ancient Japan, and you look at all these really, really old world maps, all of them look like an eyeball.
Mm. You know, and there's probably some truth to that, because like all these people from way back when, they didn't know how to do, or at least they drew what people could understand. They didn't draw, and then they drew it into the context of something else, like, but they drew it into what people like. If you were talking about the tree of life, you know, the DNA something or other, they couldn't draw the strands of DNA like we see them today in the doctor's office kind of thing, because people would look at it and go, what the hell's that? So they drew it as a tree. You know, you've seen the Anunnaki pictures where the Egyptian things or whatever, they got the tree of life, and then it looks like the DNA's woven in there.
Yeah, and then you look at the Mayan calendar, and it's a disc, and it's got all the different sections of it, like the clocks and the wheels within the wheels of our system. And then you look at the old Native Americans with the turtle in the dome on the water, and the earth was the turtle inside the dome. And then you've got the Aztecs, and they built the big the pyramids that represented the earth, and it was always inside of the main castle, and there were layers inside of it. And then you've got the Egyptian that shows the underworld and the 9 levels underneath, and they were all showing this dome thing with a flat plane with levels always typically beneath it, but and then up to this they would call the skies above, and they're all similar, but none of them are the same, but they're all very similar. You know what I mean? And they're all representing some type of a concept like that. So
Did you know the turtle was Orion? They knew.
I've heard the turtle is Saturn.
No, with the turtle, they called Orion's nebula or Orion's belt the turtle, and then what was it? The Mayans? Yeah, I think it was the Mayans, and they called it the fire in the hearth. The hearth was the nebula where all life came from, and the eye in the hand is the same thing because it would raise up. The turtle would come up with Sirius, and that would be the time when they would jump. Their soul could jump off the western horizon into the path of souls, which went through the Milky Way and into Cygnus, I believe. Mm. But it was, I just thought cool. I'd ask you if you knew that Orion was the turtle.
No, I always heard of turtles in the natives being referred to as Saturn. I'd never heard it as Orion. That's cool. I never heard of it that way.
I did hear that Orion was the place that all life came from. I have heard that before.
Well, that's where if you
something like that.
You know where the Barnard's Loop is around the nebula? Mm-hmm. Barnard's Loop?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is, right? It's a Fibonacci spiral. And if you follow the trajectory of that Fibonacci spiral, you see that it comes right to where our solar system is. We are spawned from that nebula. That's where our star was born.
That totally makes sense.
Because that's the Fibonacci. You'll see the red spiral, and that's it. You track it as it goes bigger and bigger and bigger. And most of the stars like Aldebaran and a couple other big stars that we know, I think Sirius, but all those are on the same trajectory as well. And some guy did I got a video in my playlist about that, where the guy figured out that Giza was Giza is tons of things, just like the pyramid. The pyramid is like a living library for Earth, God, and us. If you, it was a water hammer, it was a resonant chamber, it was a monoatomic storage, water storage facility. I mean, it was Ormus. It made Ormus naturally.
Yep. Did you know that? Not only that, pyramid means fire. Fire
in the middle. Yes.
Absolutely, it means life. It's literally a building block of life. It's absolutely.
Pyramid was in the middle of the because the flood would happen annually, and at that time the Nile was right next to the pyramid. And it would flood it, inundate, the inundation.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone.
Who? Kent?
No, Steve. He disappeared.
Oh, shoot. Well, it's been exactly an hour. Oh,
no,
I wonder why.
No, not in totally an hour.
That's kind of amazing. Well, we are about at 1 hour. Should we wrap it up?
Well, give him a second to come back. And
okay.
But yeah, it was a really, I don't know why he disappeared. He's talking away and all of a sudden.
I heard a doo-doo, and then it was like.
Yeah, here he comes. He must have
just
hit a button or something, because we didn't disappear. He must have had trouble. Hey, it happens.
Absolutely. Well, can I read something really quick?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
These are affirmations from my beautiful alchemy book.
Oh.
And I thought it would be good because we were talking about, the whole word God thing, and how it's not an ego thing or like I'm God thing. It's like, no, everybody is a part of this, and it's being expressed through life, and we are a part of that life. So as a part of that life, we're part of God, and we're actually the part that can use the word, and we have a mind, and we have a bipedal avatar, and this avatar was a gift to us. Oh, Can I read you what they say in this book about avatar?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's pretty profound. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay.
Not as cool as you, Trina.
Oh, yay, you're back, Steve. Yay. Okay.
Sorry, my computer died.
Oh,
I was going to say, I heard a do, and then you were just gone. I was like, what was that sound?
It Was it an hour?
Avatar. It has
It's already
been
been an hour, huh?
Nah, it's getting close. I think we started at like 10 or 9:25. So we got about maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Avatar. It says SKT Sanskrit, which is avatara, descent from avatari. He descends from ava, which means away, and tarati, he crosses over. The incarnation of the word, the descent or crossing over the universal Christ from the plane of spirit to the plane of matter. The avatar of an age is the Christ, the incarnation of the Son of God. The second person of the Trinity of the avatar is the divine complement, the twin flame, the Shakti. This outpictures and outplays in consciousness and the four lower bodies the archetypal pattern of the Father, Mother, God for the evolution of souls in a 2,000-year cycle. The principal avatars of an age are two in number, the masculine and the feminine prototypes, who embody and show by their example the path of initiation designed or designated by the solar hierarchies responsible for the life waves moving towards the center of the cosmic Christ through the open door, the teacher and the teachings of that 2,000-year dispensation. According to mankind's karma, the evolutionary status quo of the children of God, their soul's progress or lack of it in a previous dispensation, and the requirements of the logos, the manus, it may designate numerous Christed ones, those endued with an extraordinary light. They go forth as world teachers and way showers. The Christed ones demonstrate in a given epoch the laws of the Logos, step down through the Manus and the Avatars, until it is made flesh through their own word and work. To be ultimately victorious in this fulfillment in all souls of light, sent forth to conquer time and space in that area.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Interesting that you just described the light and our quest for it and the Holy Grail and all of it.
Right? And it was all in the word avatar, which means avatari, which means descendant, or he descends from away, and to the tarati, which is he crosses over, the incarnation of the word, the descent or the crossing over the universal Christ from the plane of spirit to the plane of matter. This is what we're doing, guys. So we can't be scared.
The light is the communication from God, the word.
Yes.
To us.
Yes. That's why evil is darkness, because it's no knowledge, no information.
Did you know night means void of spirit?
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Wow.
Day is God, pretty much. That's, it's bright, shines bright in heaven.
Wow.
Based in Deus. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty wild. Pretty wild when you start looking into etymology and you find out that, and anytime you look into etymology and you say it's based or supposed Sanskrit, and it always says that, doesn't it, Trina?
Yeah.
Where it says it's the base word is supposed or whatever. Those are the ones I trust the most.
Me too. Me too. And especially when you're looking in context, you're like, that has to be what it means.
Yes. Whenever it says connected to Sanskrit, and that's pretty much probably you could.
And that's what I was like, can you believe what this says about Avatar? That's it. So in the movie Avatar, think about the movie Avatar that like.
That's what I was thinking of when you were reading it.
Well, when you said the Avatar thing, you're talking about that, and you said the Tari. If you think back to the Stargate show, that's what they called the people of Earth, the Tari.
Yes,
Really?
that's what I'm saying. I think that Avatar, they know that this is what happened. They know that we invaded this planet. We were brought here.
That show has so many pieces of gold in there.
You guys ever seen that movie John Carter?
Yes, that was a good movie too. I like
Yeah.
that. That was one of my favorites. But
He was from Mars.
Yeah. Oh, you know, he was from Earth, but he went to Mars.
Oh yeah, went to Mars and lived there for a while, right?
In an avatar body.
Oh wait, he went to Mars, and that's where he could jump all and do all that superhuman stuff.
But he went in an avatar body because he never actually left Earth. He goes there in his avatar body.
So they put you to sleep,
I didn't catch that.
And then you go to another reality that you think is real, just like Avatar. I swear,
well,
guys.
I know that Avatar movie. John Carter was based in that same premise.
Yeah, if you watch the movie in the beginning, he gets zapped, right? But then somehow he gets zapped back, and when he wakes up, remember he wakes up and the guy next to him died, and he breaks out and he's all dusty and dirty, and he's stiff and his body's all stiff, but he's back on Earth in his same clothes that he had when he left. Yeah, or but he's still on Earth. He's been on Earth the whole time. His body has. He went there, metaphysically in an avatar body.
Wow.
And so that's how. So he came back. That's why
I didn't take that from that, but that makes sense. But maybe I
wonder if really we're looking at that situation. I wonder if we're literally asleep somewhere and we're projecting in this reality. And we could actually be on Earth, somewhere in Earth, asleep, in stasis, projecting this.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a real body somewhere else sleeping.
We are. We're all one body in the mind of God.
Yeah. I've seen that we might be layers deep into this little shit show. And I've seen sleeping bodies on huge motherships that are running realities on different planets. But we have an original... I'm going to look for my original body.
That was another one in Stargate. Remember when they had that thing, and Jackson and what's the name, the other gal with the dark hair, they put their hands on this big round tourney thing, and then they got zapped into another planet, into other people's bodies. And they were experiencing life in those bodies while their bodies were still here on Earth, and they were like in some kind of coma or whatever.
Yeah, there's stories of that too. Yeah, that's wild.
Go into stasis. Yeah, just put you to sleep, and then you go into the dream.
Yeah. And they were there, and that's how they got to what was it? And they discovered what was that last part where the guy they did the Jesus thing almost, and they had the guys with the staffs and the book, and he says, you got to read the book. All your knowledge is in the book. You remember, what were they called? I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah, that was like the last couple of seasons there. But yeah, that's how they got to that planet, was by, putting their hands on the thing, and they got zapped, and they went to the other planet. They were in somebody else's body, and they're like, oh, and there were those people.
By the way, has anybody seen my bloody Jabberwocky? Have you ever looked up that word, Jabberwocky? Look up that one. That's pretty wild too.
Really?
Really? What does it say? What does it mean?
I can't remember. No, it means a bunch of nonsensical talk. Jabberwocky.
Oh,
right on.
That was a start.
But in the movie Alice in Wonderland, it is a big animal that she ends up riding to victory or whatever over the evil queen, right?
Oh, I didn't really watch
the Jabberwocky helps, the jumbled up nonsensical sentences or words or language helps overcome the negative serpent or devil, which is the queen, You haven't never seen Alice in Wonderland, the new one with Johnny Depp as the
I haven't. I want to watch it. I haven't seen that though.
I think I have it. I think I have it here, but I really never watched it.
It's pretty good.
I'll have to dig it out now and watch
it. It's
almost
as good as the Wizard of Oz, but almost not even.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz is profound.
Yeah,
I watched that movie like 3 million times until I met Jerry Runk. I didn't know that it was a metaphysical guide to your soul or to,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. What is the bottom line, Dorothy? The power to go home was always within you. You don't need nobody.
Right.
Yeah, the whole time.
And so were all the demons and the flying monkeys and all that other garbage was in her head too.
Yeah, it was all in her
Yeah.
head. The whole thing was in her head the whole entire time.
Oh,
It was in her head. In her that zombie song. I think of that every time somebody says
I'm
that. It's
live
all in
for
your
Yeah.
head.
5 minutes. Okay, bye.
Yep.
Love you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but-
my daughter.
Oh, okay. Speaking of that,
I'm live. I'll call you in 5 minutes.
that's all right. We've passed another hour, and how fast it's come and gone. And,
Where are you going this weekend, Robert, before we go?
I am going to the mountains. I'm going to the Bob Marshall Wilderness to go camping and hiking in the Rocky Mountains. It's going to be
And
wonderful.
I'm gonna
That
go
sounds like
see
fun.
Zion.
And if
You be
I
safe,
don't,
brother.
yeah, if I don't make it back, a bear ate me.
Don't say that, Robert.
They got grizzly bears there, but I'm bringing my big knife. Oh, I got a big knife.
Bear spray. They say
Just
that.
don't go picking berries in a bear patch. We want you around, bud. We need
Yeah.
somebody driving the bus. I'm sick of losing friends on the internet, so don't be
Yeah.
going and dying on us, okay?
I won't. I'm pretty tough. I'm bringing my dog, so there you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Dogs, actually, oddly enough, animals, all kinds of animals. There's really scared of dogs, and I think that's why the dog is man's best friend.
Absolutely, because they will die for you.
Yeah,
they
I've
will.
seen it. They've done it for me. I've seen it. Yeah, they're amazing.
The only,
I want to read something before we
Yes.
close out. Okay.
yeah, yes.
We were talking about the God is within us. So here it is. It's an affirmation from Saint Germain, and it says, "I am life of God direction. Blaze thy light of truth in me. Focus here all God's perfection. From all discord, set me free. Make me keep my anchored ever in the justice of thy plan. I am the presence of perfection, the living, the life of God in man."
Beautiful.
That's it.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, right on time.
Ding bong, ding dong. Bye. That was awesome.
All righty.
I like that. I think that's a great affirmation. Sometimes when I'm like, I need like a good thing to focus on, I'll pull out something like that. And it's just like, yeah, I like that.
That is so good.
Truth in me, Tina will really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a great little, and you can do it 3 times. So
Mhm.
that's why I kind of read it slow. So if you guys want to write it down, it's a great affirmation. It's one of my favorites because it talks about thy will be done, God's perfect plan in me. It's like working with this. It's not saying I am or greater than. It's saying, teach me how to cooperate. Teach me how to cooperate well.
Isn't that the truth? That's all
Yeah.
we need to do. Just get
Yeah.
along, man. Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
And cooperate with God.
Right.
Listen
Yeah,
to that voice in
cooperate
your
with
head
God.
instead of just trying to plow through and do it yourself.
What if my voices are fighting and arguing all the time?
Tell them to go into timeout and focus on themselves.
That's right.
Go within yourself. Well, I am within myself, but no. Oh, God.
Take
man.
a separate corner
I'm really
until you
confused.
figure your stuff out.
Yeah, you need the purple pill. You need the purple pill. You got too many voices in that head.
They're purple people eaters.
That's right.
Send
Okay.
it
All right, I
out,
love you
man.
guys.
Gobble, gobble.
Okay.
Love, peace, chicken grease. Thank you.
Bye bye, everybody. Be the frequency you want to receive.